pretty good at that like wall of blocks. I'll get into that in a different tutorial when I've like figured out how to block wall with Juri properly. So this tutorial thing that I'm making is kind of like just a progression of everything that I learn across like the entire span of what I do. You know, when something interesting or noteworthy comes up that I feel should be explained and discussed, I will do so. So yeah, dog.
Round 2. Fight.
See the V skill power, my bar. I'm like, yeah, what are you gonna do? Because you don't know what I'm gonna do. I've got like 17 different options after this. So which ones are gonna be, dog? Like, it's unsafe, but it isn't. Like, it's also safe if you use it well. You know, it's kind of like, well, when I played Terraria, Rod of Discord was a wand that you could use to teleport somewhere on the screen. But if you used it in cooldown, it started to take your life. And not only that, like if you warped into a dark dungeon or something and it was full of mobs, you'd get moaned. Like, so again, it was useful and great, but only if you used it right. Like, you know, you needed to be good with it. Oh, see, I should have stopped in front of him and grabbed him.
Round 2. Fight.
Yeah, boy. Ikise, 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 sike.
Final round.
Sick V skill, my bar. imagine if I played against that guy and I didn't use my B skill. Like, can you see where I'm coming from with this like fundamentals thing? Like people on the stream and stuff, they'll be like, what the fuck was that? They'll be like, dude, you need to block more. It's like, yeah, I know that. But I'm not working on that at the moment. I'm working on these other fundamentals. So, like, I'm gonna turn fight request settings off because I want to explain this a bit more. Now, the thing with this skill is it is complex. You can charge it, right? So that's already a timer, if you can imagine, like it's a timer. You know, people are like, it's like, when am I gonna go? For those of you who have played other Street Fighters, it's very, very similar to FADC, like trigger up and whatever, or focus attack. You know, I mean, does like, so basically, it's pretty much focus attack, but without the armor, and she doesn't attack, and it's a teleport instead. So, in saying that, you can cancel it by dashing either backwards or forwards, which is great for pressure. Right? And you can hold it, man, like, that is a long time. You know? So it also worth noting, when you hold it, if it hasn't charged like that, it takes longer to charge to the full one than if you've already got it charged. See? It's minute, but it's there. Right? So that means that the timings of every, let's say you do it after a heavy Fuha cancel, and another thing to note is it cancels out of nearly everything, or should I say cancels out of, whatever. Except for heavy kick. Heavy kick is the exception in the normals. Right? Now, if you know how to combo pretty well with Juri, you will know that her medium kick, which I'll go into detail in another tutorial because it deserves a tutorial on its own, is cancelable with the V skill. Right? Okay? Now, you might think, what the hell's the use of that? Now, if you spit the same string out consistently, well, let's say that's your string that you practice. Right? Okay. I know exactly what's coming up. It doesn't matter if I blocked it or I didn't. I know that's what's happening. Right? But if you start mixing it in like they're already expecting the double kicks to come from you, so you know they're not going to be pressing any buttons. Like they're not going to just suddenly start like a knowing.
Dark 0WL. Hey, I'm looking for a tech whiz to help me understand my processor.
Okay. I'm not a technical whiz by any means. I'm more of a rookie in all areas.
T_dark 0WL, looking to see if an AMD A6 processor is any good for gaming.
Well, I've got a i7 and it's fucking pretty solid. Like, so yeah, I don't know. I suggest you get that because I've got that and it works pretty good, and that's all I know. So yeah. Anyway, back to explaining, because this is a tutorial, by the way, good sir. Like I create tutorials while live streaming.
T_Dark0WL i7. The Intel Core.
Yeah. Intel Core.
_Dark0WL. Okay, I'm gone then.
Yeah, like well, it was $800 over here Australian, but then I seen it on sale for $400 at a shop.
T_Dark0WL. Sorry I bothered you.
Nah, don't be sorry, man. Like, I don't mind if you hang around and stay. Like, I'm not kicking you out by any means. Like, I'm just letting you know. That's what's happening. So if I like start randoming on about something, like, that's why. For instance, like at the moment we are explaining V skill. Now, if we'll go back to its fundamental mechanics, the distance is not that great, right? Like if you are, like if your box is anywhere on his side or on your side more than his, so you've got to add his box as distance as well to your V skill, right? Like, so if I do it a bit closer, like it'll push him out of the corner as long as my box, when it stops, ends up further on that side than his, right? Like, very important. Again, just like the cross-ups and stuff, it's like this grey area of when characters cross each other up, that's where all the fucking messy shit is. So it's, keep an eye out for when that happens. Like, I still struggle with it. But yeah, so you can use it, I mainly overdo it. Like, you know, there is such a thing as overdoing a move, and I personally think you should overdo all of your moves until you know how to use them correctly to a T. You know what I mean? So I want to, without even thinking about it, by second nature, I want to just be able to like key in what I know and not have to use brain power to do it. Right? And the only way to do that, I've found, is repetition. So to get used to your V skill cancelling, I suggest you run this small rhythmic combo. Right, 1, 2, 3, just the light punch, med punch, then med kick. Right, and then V skill, and then cancel it. Not like that. Like that. And that's what I do to practice. You may come up with a better way to learn how to cancel your V skill, but just like piano, it's important to do scales. Right, like you can see there's already differentiation just because of the distance. Like if I'm not close enough, that kick will no longer initiate as a double kick and the string is over. Right? Even if I do a V skill. So that is an error. Like that. So then once you've done that a couple of times, you know, got used to doing this, you know, just up and down the screen, mix it up, and then go V skill into double or dash forward. If you're not a spastic like me. I also have a dog on my lap. I'm going to use that as an excuse. So you will find yourself having a V skill like stored like that, and they'll jump back or whatever and try and get away from you. You'll just be up in their grill like that. Now, I don't know if you've seen, say, Ken's run. That's his V skill. Look at what we've got. You serious? Like, and the fact that you can stop it at any like location, you know, between you and your opponent is incredible. And I would like season 4 wish list. I would like for her to be able to stop and cancel on the other side of Bison without doing an attack, because that would be sick if you could like warp through to him and then dash backwards. I don't know, Capcom, what do you reckon? Usually my ideas are pretty good, or they're just shocking. So you make the call if you ever bother watching this. But yeah, incredible. You can also create little setup strings for yourself, like, and then, alright, so rather than it's time to look past combos, now you're looking for, if you think of a combo as a sentence, now you're looking to build paragraphs. Alright. And this is basically how it all works. Like, the more sentences you can put into paragraphs, the more like difficult your paragraphs are going to be to decipher. Basically, if we're going into a literal sense, no pun intended. Now, that's why this is very anti-meta Juri play, because you'll see a lot of this. Now, we don't do that. No. Yuck. Bad. You want to save all of your bars for in-game utility, like, you know, you want to have that EXDP, like, you want to have this EX kicks, like, you know, because you can get in, right? If you don't have that double kicks there, it's okay, my bar, because you've got your EX, right? But if you like come in like I'm a spanner and I do fucking that, right? Usually it doesn't hit anyway. Now, in saying that, like, of course there is a place for ultis, but, you know, it's very specific. Like, you pretty much, the only time that you should ever use an ulti is when you know it's going to kill the opponent in the last round. That's the only time. And then it's very viable, and I highly recommend you do it every time you get the chance. You know? But using it mid battle is strategically unsound, let's say. Anyway, we're not talking about that anymore. I digress. Back to V skill. Now, as it does cancel out of all of the normals like you saw, it also cancels out of every store. It does not, however, it does not cancel from the storing, right? So you can't go and then V skill. So heavy kick and the actual storing don't cancel, but this does. Right. This target combo is useless don't use that. Like, yeah, it throws them around the screen and stuff, and it might look a bit flashy, but it's just does no damage at all, and it burns all of your resources. Anyway, I digress again. Now, we're gonna have to go into a little bit of meaties here, because all of this utility that we've been talking about with the V skill can be used as frame kills in meaty setups. Right, so like so. You can get right up in their grill straight away. Right? Because most people will not use the V skill, they will dash like that. Right, so like I'm still practicing these at the moment. Obviously, like that's I suppose why we're talking about it now. But yeah, that is actually pretty difficult to do, because you have to hold the timing for a specific amount of time and then release it at a specific amount of time. And not only that, it can like, you know, they could roll back, they could stay on the ground, or they could quick rise. So from when you cancel out of it like that and like go into your crouch mode, you have to observe what they're doing and make a correct decision, like right there. You know what I mean? Like there, and I was still too slow. Like my brain is not fast enough yet to calculate that speed yet. Yet. So yeah. I'm teaching you what I can foresee in the future, and I've got a very different approach to most games and stuff like that, because I personally think that the masses are wrong and that there's always a better way. Like, I might come up with some ways and techniques that are better, but then they will get outclassed by someone else's ideas, you know? And you can never, there is no skill cap with something as complex as this. Considering how many like positions you can be on the screen and how many actions you can take in how many sequences, like it's just astronomical. There'd be more atoms in the universe than variables in a match of Street Fighter. There really would. Like, because if you compound everything, timesing it by itself, and that's another big point to make, again going back to previous videos, is self-analysis on repetition and becoming easy to read. Right? Like, I catch myself consistently, and I know that it's early stages and I don't have that many tools perfected yet, but still it is critical that you are aware of it and that you don't fall into the trap of jump over, heavy kick, triangle medium, fucking shoryuken, dash back, jump over, heavy kick, medium triangle, shoryuken. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to be so mixed up and complex that not even fucking wicked players can understand what you are going to do next. Like, and that is very, very obtainable. There is nothing in the laws of physics that says that you cannot play that well. So, to run through quickly again, V skill is incredible. We also should, by all rights, use it in the end of a combo and have a look at its damage and stun. Alright, so by itself, as a charge, it's 104 with a stun of 210. Now non-charged 96 at 180. Right? Like, how many times have you had a battle and they're just like that much off stun? Right, that's a lot there. And it can be comboed basically out of everything, like it cancelled. So that's a 3 hit. Bang. Comboed off a lot. Now does it combo off the heavy kick? No. So it does not cancel the heavy kick at all, but it does the release. No. So even with a store, it will not cancel the charge ups. Right, so now you can start to see where, like, if you keep doing the same pattern of combo over and over and over, they're going to start reading different, like, parts of your play, like your follow-ups and all of that, you know, and they'll be like, oh, I've seen this, like, paragraph before. So it's important to understand that people read paragraphs as well as sentences, if we're still going by a literal sense, right? So it's good to have different words in your paragraph to confuse them, right? So you can pattern this all day, right? Do the normal standard stuff, whatever you do. Like, and there will come a time where a critical moment in the battle will happen, and you'll just be like V skill out of nowhere when you shouldn't do it. Like that, you know, like heated battles happening, and then bang, and all of a sudden it just shifts the entire tempo because it stopped you from attacking, or it's like you obviously shouldn't ever do that when you're copying hits because obviously you're going to get hit more. But while you are on the aggressive stance and being aggressive and pushing them across the screen with all of your strings and they're blocking it all, throwing one of those in really changes things. And let's say they start reading you, right? Like, give them all of these first, don't throw any variation in, and then as soon as they fucking block it once, do it again. Make sure you do it again to confirm in their mind that you're going to continue to do that. And this is called conditioning, alright? So essentially you want to throw your first match against someone new and do things like that are stupid and dumb, because it gives them a false sense of security. And then all of a sudden when it really matters and you've got a trigger and you've gone like that and you're up in their grill like this, all of a sudden they won't even move, they won't attack. I've stood there like this in front of people for like 3 seconds. I said 5 before, but like that's a long time. But it has been at least 3 seconds, and that is a very long time to stand there neutral against each other in a fighting game. And it doesn't matter who you're versing, like, and that accounts for even Catch and King, ultra platinum player. And I've just been up in his grill like that, and neither of us have moved. Like, it fucks people's brains up, I promise you. Like, and then when they get real good at reading it or whatever, they know all your patterns just get more complex. Like, it's limitless, man. Because they don't want you to be on the other side of them. As soon as you go on the other side of them, they've got to switch direction. So it's not like you're just opening them up. You're like creating variables and potentials where they have to make a decision. And so it's putting them on the spot, right? Like, it might be putting you in danger, yes, but it's forcing them to make a choice. And then you can outplay them with your mental fortitude and ability. Or you suck it up and get smashed like a bitch. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Okay, so I might as well